Good afternoon, my peeps. This is Amba Gamer Laniel. I love playing this game, and I want to show you my Lepic build, my epic Lepic build, and what components and what modules I used to use for Onslaught mode and why they work for me. I really like. Let's get started with the weaponry. I'm going to use a Thunder Cage. Make sure you use an elemental free slot for electric attack, because it really, gives a, if you use firearm attack and crit damage, weak point, and elemental damage is really going to help you a lot, with overall DPS. That's damage per second. I kind of use Shadow rarely. I just have it there for the Colossus, you know. I still end up using the Thunder Cage because most of the time, like, I get some really dumb teammates that don't set up the turrets in the Colossus stage. So I'm setting up the turrets, and meanwhile the HP meter for the Colossus is dwindling, bit by bit. By the time I use my Thunder Cage, it's like, usually all the shield is gone, and pretty much the turrets are handling business. Okay. So then I use Hypernova, and make sure you make sure you build for chill, because it has a base chill attack. I might that's my set for weapons. If you want, let me just go ahead and I'm gonna have you screenshot what I have for Thunder Cage. I mean, if you look at it, I have inside focus, better insight, and better concentration for like damage. Concentration power, that's 4 damage mods. I mean, not damage, but crit mods, right? And then I have Veil Analyzer. That's important because you need that to, bust those shields for the elites. Make sure every weapon you take replace it with the weak point. So normally a lot of people like to put like weak point sight, to get more weak point damage. Just replace it with Veil Analyzer, which is an ultimate mod. That way you can bust the shields, and it still gives you a lot of weak point damage. You want fire rate up. You want to make sure your weapon has is firing at a quicker rate. You boost it by 25%. That actually adds a lot. And sometimes fire rate boosts, even like if you can, on your other weapons, try to add like a fire rate core. It's going to improve your damage for the weapon. Rifling reinforcement and action reaction are very important for a firearm attack. And I do have an extra weak point mod right here. Weak point strike. And of course you could like add a expand weapon charge to increase your magazine magazine size. But you could also just build more for electric. In fact, I should probably do that. Now that I'm thinking, maybe I can. Yeah, normally I have a what is it called? Xantic. I can use like electric enhancement instead, probably. But I want to build more into element. Let me go back. Electric. Here you go. Electric enhancement instead of You could do that. You're gonna have less magazine if you do that, though. Make sure you roll. See, for the old school rolls, I have firearm attack, electric attack, firearm critical hit rate, and damage. However you want to do that. Okay, so that's, and then let me show you the shadow. See, again, I have Veil Analyzer for weak point, and I really don't. I think I just like either Alyssa or Ornery Biscuits build for this. So go ahead and screenshot this, if you want to copy or pause. I'll give you enough time. Just copy this, and it really works well. The DPS is off the charts. And then finally, Hypernova is important for tow, right? Once again, I have Veil Analyzer. Go ahead and just screenshot this or pause the screen if you want to do a loadout. Chill enhancement is very important, and Eye of Morvalde or Morvald. That's important because it adds more critical hits, and it's an ultimate mod. kind of important. You want to have that, and it really does give a lot of DPS damage. And those are what my weapons of choice. Okay, I know I have my watermark at the bottom, so I want you to look at the full component set. I basically copy Serena's because this gives her Serena's fire weapon damage scales off of HP. So I loaded the external component set that gives the most HP, which is a half set of like ascending armory and shell crusher memory, and just make sure that you're getting max HP and MP recovery out of combat. Those are the most ideal because you want more HP, more health, and you want more MP because that's his mana resource, right? MP recover in combat and max MP, and then for like the shell crusher memory, I use defense and MP recovery modifier. I think that's the most optimal for him. And then I have shield recovery modifier. I might want to like increase that a little bit, maybe roll more gold for that. And make sure you're choosing at HP. You could choose shield for the external component core, which is the it's those values that are like orange and blue. I use defense and max HP, but you might want to do, because you're already getting a lot of it, HP, maybe get a little bit of shield. He's pretty, I have good survivability. And then of course for the reactor is burning mechanics reactor. Techs, right? You want the tech, right? You want fire skill and tech skill boost ratio, and you could either one is gonna be fine. I like fire skill boost ratio, and skill cooldown. That's what I choose because cooldown is important. And you're going to see in the arcade tuning that I have cooldown here, and I have more HP, and I have like some crit damage and crit hit over here. You want to get and get a little bit more MP. All right, so let's go into the Descendant module. Blazing zone's important as a trigger module because whenever you inflict your third skill, go ahead and I'm going to pause for maybe 3 seconds. So you can pause the screen if you want to like get this right, just jot this down, and or maybe do a little screenshot of my build. But when I use the third skill right here, right, it creates a creates a towing zone, and it basically paralyzes the enemy for like a couple of seconds. But blazing zone adds a little bit more damage, right? It creates a blazing zone like a purple hue dome that adds more damage. So it's perfect because you want to combine that with the first skill, which is grenade, launching grenades. You can also try to activate the second skill so you can get more damage on your grenade throwing and your fire weapons. I actually don't think it makes that much more the difference. For the build, I have the Transcendent trigger module, Nerve Infiltration, and I have an sister module which is skill critical hit damage and rate and max HP. I have the 2 almondines of skill insight and skill concentration. You need crit damage and crit hit, and then I also have another one, Frontlines, which gives more hit damage and hit rate. And then I have another 2 almondine set of focus on tech, because his actual damage skills, which are the 1 and what is it? It's the 1 and the 4, which are both tech. The other one are singular. We want to build towards tech, not singular. Those are the ones that are going to give you the most damage. So I use focus on tech and focus on fire because this element is fire. Focus on tech, focus on fire. That gives you skill cooldown on both. Minus 6.1% skill cooldown. It's kind of confusing. It actually adds. It's not, basically it lowers the cooldown of the skill, so you can spam it more. MP conversion and nimble fingers. These 2 right here, they're malachites. Malachite, is it malachite or malachite? Maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong. They add more cooldown, and of course you have an HP. And then you want to get skill expansion. If you want to, yeah, I would do skill expansion because you want to be able to have a large toe. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to like go ahead and oh, by the way, if you want to like ape my dapper Lepic look, Let me go ahead and show you what I did. I chose the new skin, Smoky's Hepcat, and I use matte cement gray, real matte deep red, and clear bright white. Those are that's my base colors, and you can go ahead and screenshot this if you want to ape this. I mean, you could do you can try other colors too, like, you know, oops, maybe not. I forgot what. Okay, there you go. Let's go back. You want to, like, you know, you want to do more of like a matching look, you know, whatever, more of a gray. You can do that. You know, you can. I like to have a little bit of variety there, and there you can. But I settle for more like just uniformity, and that, see, that looks cool. Looks pretty slick, kind of a gangster hitman look. And I have a couple of other ones I can show later. Other really cool looks. If you want to copy, this is one of my other favorite. It looks like it's kind of Mega Man superhero look, and it's one of those. Where's the skin? If I know where is it? Jeez, it's right here. It's the Infectious Agent Survivor. I don't know if it's still available. I think it is still available. But I'll show you the color scheme. I use matte black, enamel deep black, and shiny light yellow. I have another variant. It's very similar. It's the same, but I use clear neon red to give it kind of like a Corvette look, you know. And then what I'm going to do now is, you know, I'm going to go ahead and just show you how I use this skill, how I use this setup. I'm going to play like maybe like 2 minutes of the Onslaught mode, just to show you how I use the Hypernova and the third skill and the first skill, you know, in combination. I'm just gonna play 2 minutes. It's not gonna be serious, but just kind of so you can see it in like practice, you know. It shouldn't take that long because isn't it just a private? Well, I guess all the shaders have to load and whatnot. And I'm gonna give you like a tip too. When you're gonna do Onslaught mode, you want to make sure you're utilizing the turrets, and make sure you turn those on along with your teammates, because they really help with, you know, crowd control. Believe it or not, they actually work really well. And you can also upgrade them too. Upgrade them as soon as you collect more shards. Be looking out on the screen. Oh, I gotta go over here. Okay. I always choose some kind of like survivability, but I don't have much. Attribute block is kind of it, but I don't use my grappling hook a lot. Kind of pointless. So I go with Colossus Hunter for now. And then, of course, remember to activate your turret. I could do more, but you know, I kind of just want to get to the point. So there you go. See, right there you go, and then see that? Activate it again. See how I'm just controlling the crowd, and then if that's not enough, tell them back. Uh-oh. See how that really destroyed the shield there? Do it again. And just keep throwing that 3. Ignore the tyrant. You know? The mobs are gonna keep coming, but I'm controlling them with the toe power, and I have they got a little away. But you know, there you go. And of course, it's a lot easier when you have teammates, but there you go. So yeah, that's gonna be my Lepic build, and like I said, this works really great because I mean you get to you get to really take advantage of his kit most efficiently. There you go. Alright, and that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go ahead and abandon mission. And that's how I use Lepic in Onslaught mode. You want to ignore the tyrant, like that spider, you know, like boss, and you know any other bosses. Concentrate on the mobs. Concentrate on the mobs. You and your teammates. You're gonna, you know, be successful. That's my tip. I mean, one of them could probably dedicate themselves to the tyrant, but I would make sure that you're clearing the mobs, because the faster you clear the mobs, the faster you get to the next level. That's what I've noticed. I could be wrong, but you know, even if you kill that tyrant, another one's gonna come right away. And they don't go away, and sometimes, like, if you clear the mob quick, that tyrant's gonna like retreat, so it's pointless to even kill it, you know. And that's pretty much it. Did I show you the arc? I think I did do the arcade tuning tree. All right, y'all have a wonderful afternoon, and hope you have fun with this Lepic build.